Introduction. Volume 16 Overview. Volume 16 marks a major turning point. After surviving his clash with Orsted, Rudius chooses a dangerous new path and begins working directly under the dragon god. The story shifts from private family struggles to a larger political and strategic war. Volume 16 explores what it means for Rudius to become Orsted's subordinate. This is not a friendship built on trust. It is a necessary alliance formed to protect his family and resist the human god's manipulation. The core mission of the volume is to help Ariel win the Asura throne. What looks like a royal succession struggle is actually part of the wider battle against the human god, with several key destinies hanging in the balance. This volume emphasizes destiny, political strategy, and careful preparation. Rudius must balance loyalty to his family with his new obligations to Orsted, while learning that even small political choices can affect the future of the world. As the story unfolds, pay attention to the arrival of Leo, the trip into the library labyrinth, and Ariel's growth into a true ruler. These moments define both the emotional tone and the strategic importance of Volume 16. Event 1. Rudius formally becomes Orsted's subordinate. Volume 16 begins after Rudius survives his battle with Orsted and chooses a new path. He is no longer casually following advice from the human god. He has officially decided to work under Orsted, because Orsted is the only person who may be able to protect his family from the human god's manipulation. The mood is very different from earlier volumes. Rudius is not joining Orsted because he admires him or completely trusts him. He is joining because the alternative is worse. The human god has threatened his wives, children, and future descendants. When Rudius returns to Orsted, he finds Zenoba has also encountered Orsted and was knocked unconscious because of Orsted's curse. This shows how dangerous Orsted's presence is even when he is not trying to hurt anyone. Rudius now has to accept that working with Orsted will not be simple. Friends may fear Orsted, allies may misunderstand him, and even explaining the truth could create new risks. This first event establishes the new power structure of the story. Rudius is still a husband, father, and magician, but now he is also Orsted's subordinate in a hidden war against the human god. Event 2. Orsted explains destiny, loops, and Hidegami. Rudius tells Orsted everything he remembers about his conversations with the human god. He explains when the human god appeared, what advice was given, and how that advice affected his life. Orsted listens carefully because Rudius is an unusual person in the flow of history. Rudius's existence has changed events that were supposed to happen in a different way. Orsted explains that fate and destiny are extremely important in this world. Some people have strong destinies, meaning events naturally pull them towards certain outcomes unless someone powerful interferes. The human god seems to have used Rudius as an irregular tool to disturb Orsted's plans. Rudius realizes that his life has not just been a personal journey. His choices have been affecting a much larger battle between hidden forces. This conversation makes the story feel much bigger. The focus is no longer only on Rudius surviving or building a family. Now every political event, friendship, and marriage can become part of a war across timelines. Event 3. Ariel becomes the first mission. Orsted gives Rudius his first major mission: help Princess Ariel become the ruler of the Asura kingdom. This may sound like a political mission, but for Orsted it is a strategic move against the human god. In Orsted's expected history, Ariel was supposed to become queen. Her rise was supported by key people who helped protect and guide her. One of those people was Derek Redbat, Ariel's original guardian magician. Derek was supposed to influence Ariel and help her gain Perugilus's support, but he died earlier in the current timeline. Orsted also explains the importance of Tristina Purplyhorse. In the original course of events, rescuing her exposed the corruption of Senior Minister Darius and weakened Ariel's political enemies. Rudius understands that helping Ariel is not just about loyalty to Sylphie's friend. It is about restoring a path that is unfavorable to the human god and strengthening Orsted's side of the conflict. Event 4. Orsted gives tools for survival before sending Rudius into political danger. Orsted gives him practical tools. One of the most important is a special ring that functions like a compass and allows Rudius to contact Orsted in an emergency. Orsted also promises Rudius a protective robe. This matters because Rudius cannot use battle aura like swordsmen can, so he needs magical equipment to survive sudden attacks. They discuss the broken magic armor from the Orsted battle. Rudius wants to improve it, but the full armor is too large and damaged. For now, they plan future upgrades rather than relying on it immediately. Orsted also gives Rudius a summoning circle that can call a guardian beast with a strong destiny. The purpose is simple: protect Rudius's family while he is away. This event shows how Rudius's priorities have changed. He is not asking for power only to win battles. He is building layers of protection around his home before entering a dangerous political mission. Event 5. The guardian beast summoning begins. Rudius gathers his family in the garden to use Orsted's summoning circle. Naturally, everyone is nervous because the circle came from Orsted, and most people still feel fear or distrust toward him. Rudius reassures them that he believes this step is necessary. If he is going to face the human god's schemes, his family needs protection even when he is not present. The first summoning does not go as expected. Instead of a guardian beast, the circle summons Arumanfi, one of Perugius's servants. Arumanfi is irritated because the summoning accidentally interrupts his connection to Perugius. With Perugius's help, the mistaken contract is cancelled. This moment is partly comedic, but it also shows how delicate summoning magic can be. One wrong image or connection can produce an unexpected result. Rudius tries again, this time clearly imagining the kind of guardian he wants. The family waits anxiously, hoping the second attempt will protect them rather than create another problem. Event 6. Leo joins the Greyrat family. The second summoning produces a large white dog-like beast. At first it seems like Rudius has simply summoned a huge animal, but Eris quickly recognizes something important. The beast resembles the holy beast connected to the Darudia tribe. That makes the situation complicated because the holy beast is not an ordinary pet. It has cultural and spiritual importance. Rudius worries that he may have accidentally stolen something precious from the beast folk. Still, he decides not to cancel the contract because the beast has a powerful destiny and can protect his family. The family names the beast Leo. Leo soon becomes a guardian presence in the Greyrat household, especially around the children. For the story, Leo is more than a cute family pet. He represents Rudius's attempt to make his home safer before he steps into a mission where assassins, apostles, and political enemies may target him. Event 7. Luke asks Rudius to support Ariel. Luke visits Rudius and directly asks for his support in Ariel's attempt to claim the Sura throne. This request puts Rudius in a difficult position because he already knows Orsted wants Ariel to become queen. At the same time, Rudius is suspicious. In Oldius's diary, Luke appeared connected to the human god's future manipulation. Rudius cannot ignore the possibility that Luke may be an apostle. Luke denies any connection to the human god. From his perspective, he is acting because he wants to help Ariel, not because some god is controlling him. Rudius does not immediately answer. He needs to consult Orsted, because accepting the request could either help Orsted's plan or walk directly into a trap prepared by the human god. The scene introduces one of the key tensions of Volume 16. Rudius must work with people he knows and cares about while constantly wondering who may be unknowingly manipulated. Event 8. Sylphie chooses to stand beside Ariel. Rudius discusses Luke's request with Orsted. Orsted strongly suspects Luke may be one of the human god's apostles, and even suggests killing him as a practical solution. Rudius is disturbed by this. Luke is not a stranger. He is Sylphie's friend and Ariel's trusted companion. Killing him without absolute proof could destroy Ariel emotionally and damage the very mission they are trying to support. Rudius argues that Luke may still be necessary for Ariel's success. If the human god expects Orsted to remove Luke, then killing him might actually help the enemy. Orsted accepts Rudius's reasoning and agrees to observe Luke for now. This is an important sign that Rudius is not merely following orders. He can challenge Orsted's ideas and influence the plan. When Rudius tells Sylphie about the mission, she decides she must go too. Ariel is her dear friend, and Sylphie is not willing to let Rudius and Orsted decide Ariel's future without her. Event 9. Ariel remembers Derek Redbat. Rudius, Sylphie, and Ariel meet at Chaosbreaker, Perugius's floating fortress. Ariel appears tired and discouraged because she has been unable to gain Perugius's support. Perugius gave Ariel a question: what is the most important quality of a king? Ariel has not found an answer that satisfies him, and without his support her political position remains weak. Rudius asks Ariel about Derek Redbat, the guardian magician who died protecting her. This brings back painful memories for Ariel, because Derek's death was the moment that pushed her toward the throne. Ariel remembers that Derek did not simply protect her body, he entrusted her with a purpose. His final words became part of the reason she chose to become king. This event turns the political mission into an emotional one. Ariel's path is not only ambition, it is also about carrying the will of someone who died believing she could become more than a sheltered princess. Event 10. Orsted suggests the book Labyrinth. After hearing Ariel's problem, Orsted suggests searching the book labyrinth. This is a strange and legendary place said to contain copies of every book in the world. The goal is to find information about the first king of Asura, and possibly discover the answer Perugius wants Ariel to understand. The group prepares to travel through a teleportation circle. The party includes Rudius, Sylphie, Ariel, Luke, Eris, and Ghislaine. Rudius formally introduces Eris and Ghislaine as escorts. This matters because Ariel is about to enter a dangerous place, and she needs fighters who can react instantly if something goes wrong. The book Labyrinth shifts the story from political discussion to fantasy adventure. To win support in the present, Ariel must search through the buried knowledge of the past. Event 11. The party enters the library labyrinth. The group enters the library labyrinth and finds endless halls filled with books. The place feels less like a normal library and more like a living archive of the entire world. At the center of the labyrinth, they discover Demon King Bitobe, a massive slime-like being with a huge eye and many tentacles. Bitobe continuously writes and copies books. The group avoids provoking him and begins searching for records about the early kings of Asura. They learn that the idealized history of kings is more complicated than simple heroism. Rudius also finds information about Bikos, special people with strange powers. One topic makes him wonder whether curses, and even Zenith's condition might someday be helped through deeper knowledge. This event is important because the labyrinth does not only help Ariel, it expands the world's mystery and gives Rudius new hints about problems that still matter deeply to his family. Event 12. Derek's diary gives Ariel her answer. Rudius realizes the book Labyrinth has started copying his own diary. Because his diary includes experiences from an altered future, Bitobe becomes interested in him. Rudius uses this attention to request a specific book. Following Orsted's sketch, he asks for the diary of Derek Redbat. When Ariel reads Derek's diary, she finally understands what he truly felt and what he wanted to leave behind. The answer to Perugius's question begins forming inside her. The moment becomes emotional, but danger follows immediately. A tear damages the diary, and Bitobe becomes enraged because the book has been harmed. The group is forced to flee while blocking Bitobe's attacks. They escape with the knowledge they needed, but the scene reminds them that even a library can become deadly in this world. Event 13. Ariel wins Perugius's support. Ariel returns to Perugius and answers his question. She says the most important quality of a king is the ability to inherit wills. A king is shaped by the people who entrust their hopes, sacrifices, and ideals to them. Perugius laughs and says the answer is wrong, but Ariel does not collapse or beg. She stands firmly and admits her own truth. She says that if her ideals are incompatible with Perugius, then even if she wants his support, they may not be able to work together. This honesty impresses him more than a perfect answer would have. Perugius agrees to support Ariel. Rudius later learns that her answer was technically not the answer Perugius expected, but her conviction reminded him of an old friend from Asura's history. This is one of Ariel's biggest victories. She gains the support of a legendary figure not through manipulation, but by showing the kind of leader she intends to become. Event 14. The road to Asura becomes dangerous after Ariel gains Perugius's support. News arrives that the Asura king has fallen ill. This means the race for the throne is about to become urgent. The group debates how to travel to Asura. Rudius wants to use a route that allows him to investigate Tristina and prepare against Eris, but others prefer the safest and fastest teleportation route. Then they discover that the teleportation circles inside Asura Kingdom have been destroyed. This is a serious problem, because those circles should have been protected by people with political influence. Orsted concludes that the human god side may be interfering directly. Possible apostles or enemies include Senior Minister Darius, First Prince Grable, and powerful fighters such as North Emperor Ober or Water God Riida. The mission now becomes far more dangerous. Ariel is not simply returning home for politics. She is walking into a battlefield where assassins, corrupted nobles, and the human god's apostles may already be waiting. Event 15. Final preparations before departure. Before leaving, Rudius makes final arrangements at home. Leo begins settling into the Greyret household and acts as a large protective guardian for the children. Rudius meets Cliff and Zenoba and asks for help improving the magic armor. He cannot tell them the complete truth about Orsted, so he carefully hides parts of the situation while still asking for their support. At the same time, Sylphie, Roxy, and Eris hold a private wives' meeting. Roxy explains that these meetings help prevent jealousy and allow them to speak honestly about their relationship with Rudius. The conversation helps Eris understand the family dynamic. She is strong in battle, but family communication is new territory for her. Sylphie and Roxy help her enter the household more smoothly. Rudius also spends time with Roxy before leaving, because she is pregnant and will stay home. They discuss baby names, making the departure feel both hopeful and painful. Event 16. Eris and Ghislaine prepare for Asura. The extra chapter focuses on Eris and Ghislaine as they prepare to accompany Ariel to Asura. Both are powerful warriors, but they are not comfortable with noble etiquette. Eris worries that her manners may embarrass Rudius or harm Sylphie's reputation. This shows how much she has matured. She still has a fierce personality, but she now thinks about how her actions affect others. Sylphie agrees to teach Eris and Ghislaine proper behavior before they arrive in Asura. The group is slowly becoming a real team rather than separate people connected only through rudeness. Ghislaine also carries a personal motive. She wants revenge for Soros's execution, and Ariel promises to help her find the people responsible. Volume 16 ends with the party looking toward Asura Kingdom. Ariel has gained Peruginus's support. Rudius has new allies and protections, but the next battlefield will be political, personal, and extremely dangerous. Conclusion. Volume 16 payoff. By the end of Volume 16, Rudius has accepted his role under Orsted, Ariel has gained the support she needs, and the path toward Asura is set. The volume closes with a strong sense of movement toward a bigger confrontation. Rudius grows beyond survival and family management in this volume. He starts thinking like someone involved in a hidden world conflict, carefully protecting his home while carrying out high-stakes political missions. Ariel's journey in this volume is especially meaningful. Her answer to Peruginus shows that she has matured into a leader who understands inheritance, responsibility, and the importance of carrying the wills of others. The success of Volume 16 does not end the struggle. Instead, it creates momentum for the dangerous trip to Asura, where allies, traitors, and political enemies will clash more openly. Volume 16 feels like a preparation arc, but it is packed with meaning. Rudius strengthens his alliances, Ariel claims her direction, and the story steps into a much larger battlefield than before. Extras. Bonus highlights. Volume 16 includes many details that enrich the story beyond the main mission, including Orsted's equipment gifts, Leo's arrival, and Eris and Ghislaine's preparation for the coming conflict. Leo quickly becomes one of the most memorable additions to the Greyrat household. His role symbolizes protection, destiny, and the idea that Rudius's family is now directly tied to the larger battle against the human god. The visit to the library labyrinth adds mystery and wonder to the volume. It combines world building, humor, and discovery, while also moving Ariel's mission forward in an unusual and memorable way. The later focus on Eris and Ghislaine gives the ending extra energy. Both characters remain fiercely loyal, and their readiness for Asura reminds us that political struggles in this world can quickly turn into deadly battles. Volume 16 is important because it redefines the series. Rudius is no longer only reacting to life. He is now an active piece in a hidden war, and the consequences of that role will shape everything that follows.